The two greatest words in all of sports is Game 7. And guess what, Hoops fans? We got one tonight. So grab your drinks, grab your snacks, sit back, relax, and let's talk some hoops. On My Hoops podcast starts now. Welcome, Hoops fans, to another episode on My Hoops. Once again, it's your boy John J. And we got an episode new today, ladies and gentlemen. Game 7 goes down tonight. 2 hours, ladies and gentlemen. Not only that, but we had the second round get started with the Nuggets robbing of the Suns. The Eastern Conference not to be left undone. They kick things off tonight in the second round too. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get into all of that, please, if you haven't already done so, drop us a like, drop us a share, subscribe, and comment below, because this is about to be a fire conversation today. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to absolutely everything that's been happening in these playoffs, but oh my God, the intrigue has been at a 10. And I couldn't be any more excited than I am today. So I hope y'all feeling good. Once again, get them comments. Let me know how you feel about that first round. But today we are just gonna dig into each and every one of the first round matchups that ended, and we're gonna preview what is to come. So we're gonna go ahead and just kick this thing off. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, the New York Knicks defeated the Cleveland Cavs 4-1. And I gotta be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not happy about this, but I'm a man of my word, and I'm gonna have to eat some crow today, because I said Cavs in 7, and yes, I was wrong, so very wrong. And the crazy thing about it is, we thought that it would be the others for the Cavs that the moment would be too big for, but it kind of ended up turning it into Donovan Mitchell, who the moment was too big for. A very disappointing series, to say the least, if I'm being totally honest. Impressive showing by the Knicks. Jalen Brunson was a man possessed in this series. Not 100% sure what's going on with the ankle of Julius Randle. They definitely are going to need him moving on into the second round. But I just want to shout out Tibbs, Coach Tibbs. Historically, he's like a tyrant or something. Like, he runs the minutes up for his players, but he gets the most out of them. And they have had a great season. Those youngins have been balling. Emmanuel Quickly is really developing. Quentin Grimes, although he's had injuries in this past round, hopefully he'll be back ready to go for round 2. But yeah, the New York Knicks, man, Madison Square Garden was rocking, absolutely rocking. So yeah, I was wrong, man. I was wrong. The Cavs, they did not show up. Those defensive bigs did not get it done. And Jared Allen, Kung Fu Master Jack, couldn't get it done. So congrats to those Knicks. Shout out to them, that whole squad, that roster. Very impressive showing. Very impressive showing, and you guys deserve some respect, and you got it from me. So moving right along, we got a lot to get through, ladies and gentlemen, so we're gonna try to run through these fast today. But moving right along to the next series in the Eastern Conference that wrapped up, another one we were wrong about. The Miami Heat absolutely destroyed the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, granted, Giannis missed about 2.5, you can pretty much say 3 games because he went out early in the first game. But oh my goodness, Jimmy Butler, Jimmy G Buckets, was getting buckets throughout the series. He was a man possessed. And nobody gave Miami Heat the credit that they deserve, self included. I thought that they may be able to get a game or 2 in that series, and I definitely was wrong on that one. But we gotta stop and just take a moment to just appreciate what Jimmy Buckets did. I mean, the overall number 1 seed, the A seed came in and knocked them out. Jimmy Butler with 56 and 42 in the last couple games to end the series. I mean, the man was possessed. He said playoff Jimmy is not a thing, but it's absolutely a thing. It has life. So the next series coming up is going to be the Heat against the Knicks. A lot of people didn't see that one coming, but it's going to be a fun, fired up series. We're going to have Jimmy Butler against Tibbs, man. And Butler and Brunson should be a battle of just those dog leaders. This one should be a fun one. This one should be intense, physical, fast-paced. I wish Tyler Hero was available for the Heat. They're definitely going to need him and his shooting in this next round. I think on paper right now, the Knicks would probably be the favorite on the surface. The way they've been playing, they got the home court advantage. The Garden is going to be rocking. The roster is deeper than the Heat. But it's something about the way Jimmy is playing right now, man. I got to be honest. It's something about the way Jimmy Buckets has been playing that kind of makes me think that the Miami Heat might win this series. I know. I got some homies that is Knicks fans that probably gonna ring my phone after hearing this. But you should be proud. Your squad is very good, and I don't think that Miami is gonna dominate the Knicks like they did the Bucks. I think this is a series that can definitely go 6 or 7 games. But I just think in the end that the aggressive nature of Jimmy Butler, that dog-like mentality, just give it to me, get out the way, and the experience factor of him and Coach Eric Spoelstra, who's coached in multiple finals and conference finals. The man is there every year, and he doesn't get enough credit for it. So in the end, I do give the advantage to the Miami Heat. I think they will win this series, but I do think it will be a hell of a barn burner, and I can't wait for every second of it. So ladies and gentlemen, hop in those comments. Let me know what you think. Who do you think is going to win this series? And it will start in the Garden. The Knicks have home court. So next up, let's travel out west, ladies and gentlemen. Another number 1 versus a number 8 seed matchup. I'm talking about the Nuggets versus the Timberwolves. And the Nuggets won the series 4-1. And what was really looking like a coming out party for Anthony Edwards put on a show. And this Minnesota team is going to be good in the future. Give them some time to gel. Cat was injured pretty much the whole series. Rudy Gobert is definitely going to have to step up. But he did have some good defensive performances in the playoffs, but foul trouble was a huge factor. Losing Nas Reed also hurt. Nas Reed, that hurt big time for them. They weren't able to have that big man depth that they were used to, that they definitely needed going up against the Joker and those Nuggets. And just looking at the Nuggets, hell of a performance. One thing I did notice, though, they will let you back in the series. A couple of those games were closer than they needed to be. But the firepower in Denver is ridiculous. The Joker with an MVP caliber season without having to be the MVP. Jamal Murray has taken over as him, the offensive goon for that squad. Joker is still the best player. I'm not disputing that by any stretch of the imagination, but Jamal Murray is the guy who's getting the buckets first. It's his shot to pass up. And he's looking good. He's getting back to his old self, the last version of him that we saw in those 2020 playoffs. And it was a fun series, even though it only went 5 games. But this Denver Nuggets team is fun to watch. Aaron Gordon has been playing the best ball of his life and the best defense of his life. The shooting is ridiculous. The Denver Nuggets got about 5-6 guys that can give you a dub on any given night. So this is a tough team. And getting into the second round, we're definitely going to see it. But before I jump into who they matched up against, I want to talk about the other series, the previous first round series between the Phoenix Suns and the LA Clippers. Now, I'm not going to hold you hostage for the winner. Everybody knows the Phoenix Suns won the series 4-1. They dominated the series. But here's the thing. My issue with this series is the injuries, man. As basketball fans, we were robbed. We were absolutely cheated out of a championship caliber series. Had Kawhi Leonard finished the series, had Paul George played the series, I believe this could have been a different outcome. I wholeheartedly believe that a healthy Clippers could have contended for a Western Conference championship. But we was robbed. With that being said, I hope that we can at least just get 1 year of seeing those guys healthy together. I mean, we've not seen it at all yet since they formed that team. They wasted a good version of Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook was a great fit for that squad, and I hope they bring him back. I want to see him running back. One last time, though. Kind of done on giving them extra opportunities, but let's see them running back one last time, see if they stay healthy, which is not likely, but I digress. But nonetheless, not gonna sit here and give a sob story. The guys that showed up got to play. Norman Powell definitely showed up, definitely played, but no excuses. The Phoenix Suns dominated that series, and they advanced. Devin Booker and Kevin Durant are just offensive juggernauts, and mainly Devin Booker took the Suns on his back and just carried them throughout that series. KD definitely did what he was supposed to do, but it's been pretty obvious that KD has officially deferred to the young Devin Booker as the leader of the team. And for good reason. KD, we all know what he's capable of. He's capable of dominating, but Book's got those young legs, that young dog, and KD did the right move. But moving along to the series at hand, that actually already began last night with a destruction of the Phoenix Suns. I'm talking about the second round matchup between Denver and Phoenix. And one thing we saw last night was Denver's depth. Denver's depth, I think, is going to be a ridiculous problem this series for the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Durant had a really good shooting night. When the game started off, he was hitting everything. You figured this was going to be one of those nights where he was going to drop 40. But he didn't. And everybody else was cold. I think this series is going to expose DeAndre Ayton, who I'm a fan of. I do like DeAndre Ayton, but Jokic is just way too skilled, and Ayton won't be able to keep up. Neither will Chris Paul. So with that being said, I do think the Denver Nuggets will win this series, not just because of yesterday. I know that's going to be the first thing everybody thinks of, but if you've been paying attention, I've been on the Denver Nuggets this entire season, so it should be no shock that that's who I am picking to come out of this series. But I'm hoping for 7 games. I'm a basketball fan, and I want to see this go every night. But KD and Book are pretty much going to have to play 40 minutes a game in order for this team to keep up. Denver Nuggets just got too much firepower. But I do fully expect Phoenix to keep up. They're not finna just dial it in. This is a team that played in the finals just a couple seasons ago and have those same aspirations right now, today. So they will go back to the drawing board and try to make some changes. But I just think it's just so much. Denver is just so good, so deep. Honestly, I think Denver is going to be the team to represent the Western Conference in the finals. And I know I'm jumping way, way ahead of myself, but I'm just curious to see how this is going to age. But if I had to just jump out and make a selection right now, I would say the Denver Nuggets will represent the West this year for the first time. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, get in those comments. Let me know who you think is going to win this series. Am I right in my thinking, or am I totally off base with this one? Am I not giving Kevin Durant the respect that he deserves? Let me know in those comments. But moving right along, let's travel back out east again. To the only sweep so far this playoffs. Talking about those Philadelphia 76ers with a first round sweep of the Brooklyn Nets. And I'm not going to spend much time here. There was no shock. No shock here. The Nets did a great job to hold on to their positioning to get the 6th seed after losing Durant and Kyrie Irving during the season. But I don't think anybody thought that there was remotely a shot that they would advance or even win a game. Joel Embiid did Embiid type things. Also got hurt. He got banged up in that series, so be interested to see moving forward in this next round if he ends up missing any time. So that's definitely going to be something to watch because it gets real now. James Harden. We didn't get vintage James Harden, but we got a productive James Harden. And a productive James Harden is good enough to make Philly a serious Eastern Conference competitor. So, with that being said, let's go and talk about who they will be facing in the second round, because they also won their series. Talking about the Boston Celtics, who beat the Atlanta Hawks 4-2. What was also a good series, Ice Trae, on the brink of elimination, put together a fantastic, memorable performance to force a game 6. But in the end, Boston, it was just too much. Too much experience, too much leadership, too much firepower. They did what they were supposed to do. Which brings me along to the matchup that we've all been waiting for. Boston and Philly. This has been a collision course that has been building all season long. Division rivals, seeding position rivals, MVP rivals, MVP candidate rivals. This series has everything, all the intrigue that one could want. And it's definitely going to be a tough one to call. But for me, I think it's just the leadership, the experience, and they're a little bit more healthy right now. I'm going to have to ride with the Boston Celtics to win this series. I do think it can go 7 games, though. But I do worry about Embiid's health. A healthy Embiid, I believe, can carry this team to a championship. But he's not fully healthy right now. The Boston Celtics are healthy. They're hungry. They're angry. They still have last season in their minds. They were one step away from the promised land. They were right there, and I think this year, I think they go back. Once again, I'm getting ahead of myself, but if you ask me right now today, I'm looking at Boston and Denver representing in the finals, which should be a very fun one. But yeah, this Boston Nuggets team, Boston Nuggets, Lord. This Boston Celtics team, it's just so good. The wing depth, the guard depth. James Harden, I don't think will be productive this series. I feel like he's going to be in jail by these guards in Boston. Marcus Smart, the unlimited hairline, Derek White, Malcolm Brogdon, who, shout out to him, won rookie or sixth man of the year. That's another trophy under his belt. So congrats to Brogdon and those Boston Celtics sixth man. I personally would have I thought the award should have went to Bobby Portis, but Brogdon is a worthy candidate, so I'm not mad at that. But it's just so much depth, man. And then Jaylen Brown is playing out of his mind. And then Jason Tatum is just the next one. Out of the American stars, he is just that one. Leadership qualities. They've been in this position since they've been in the league. And I think just that experience, that playoff experience, is going to be too much for Philly to overcome, as well as that Boston home crowd. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Boston winning this series in 7 games. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, hop in those comments down below and let me know what you think. You going with Boston with me, or am I crazy? You riding with Philly and Embiid? Moving right along to another upset. But this is an upset that we got right. We actually predicted it on this show. I'm talking about the Grizzlies and the Lakers. The Lakers win this series 4-2 with a 40-point elimination game. Ladies and gentlemen, if a man says, I'm good in the West, I ain't worried about nothing, getting eliminated by 40 points is never supposed to happen. Those of y'all who watch, y'all know me. Y'all know I like the Grizzlies. I like those young, brash teams. I feel like every basketball generation has one. I'm not mad at him making the statement, I'm good in the West. I enjoyed it. It brought us a lot of intrigue throughout this whole season, and it gave us something to talk about. We're still talking about it today. I like the aggressive nature of Dillon Brooks. I liked that he challenged the king, that he challenged LeBron to put 40 on him. It wasn't smart. It ended up backfiring on him. But as a fan of the game, I loved it. I loved that brash nature. It gave us something to talk about. It made you love him or made you hate him. And to me, I couldn't ask for more. I'm so glad we got to experience that this season. But with that being said, Memphis, get your shit together. That was embarrassing for y'all to claim that we good in the West. Or I ain't gonna believe LeBron is great till he put 40 on me. Talk is cheap, and y'all did a lot of talking and was not able to back it up at all this season. Back to the drawing board. Now I know they definitely needed Steven Adams. His injury hurt big time. But back to the drawing board. Although as a fan, I love the talking and I'm here for it. For y'all, it's probably best to keep your mouth shut next season and just grind it out. Get back to the grind factory that we are used to seeing from the Memphis Grizzlies. And another thing, Ja. I'm such a big fan of Ja. He reminds me of Derrick Rose and Allen Iverson. He is this generation's clone. But he needs to get smarter about how he attacks the basket. Just because you can fly doesn't mean you need to try every single time. People are not going to move out of the way for him. And as Jalen Rose said, the ground is undefeated. I do not want to see Ja's career cut short. The acrobatics are fine. They're fun to watch. They're impressive, but be careful. No one's going to move out the way, and no one's going to want to be put on a poster. It's going to get harder and harder, and I don't want to see that man seriously injured. But with that being said, moving along, and we don't yet know who those Lakers are going to face in this next round, because their opponents, the potential opponents, are having a game 7 this evening, which I'm about to get into in a second. But the one thing we do know about this series is that the Lakers, being the 7th seed, are going to be the road seed. So whoever they play against, be it the Sacramento Kings or the Golden State Warriors, we already know will host the Lakers. But we know that it's going to be in California, which bodes well for the Lakers. So it should be fun. But jumping ahead to what we got before us this evening, the Kings, Warriors, and what has been the best series this entire playoffs. At me below if you disagree, but we got a game 7 tonight, so I believe that it's factual proof that it has been the best series. But man, this is that one, boy. I tell you what, as a fan of just the history of the NBA, I want to see Curry and LeBron at least one more time before it's all said and done. Why not? For all the marbles. Well, it's not for all the marbles because there'll still be like 2 rounds left over, but you know what I mean. With that being said, though, I don't think that we'll get it. I hope we get it, but I don't think we'll get it. I think the Kings win game 7 at home. And that beam stays lit. It's been a fun story, this squad. And theoretically, I'm sure the majority of the country is going to give game 7 to the Warriors, as you should. They're the defending champs. They got the experience. They've been in these situations before, whereas the Kings have not. But those of you who know me know I'm a Cubs fan. And what happened the year that the Cubs won the World Series after a 110-year drought? It was a bunch of kids that didn't know much about the history. One thing that was said was they were too young and dumb to realize they weren't supposed to be there. And I kind of see that same mentality in these Sacramento Kings. Them boys are too young and dumb to realize that they're not supposed to be here right now, taking the defending champs to game 7. But they are. And I'm going to ride with them. I'm going to ride with the home team in the closeout game. I think this should be a ridiculously fun game. We definitely got our money's worth for this one. It's almost like they're making up for the Clippers series. But I'm curious to see how you guys got it scored. Warriors or the Kings tonight. Let me know in those comments. And again, I know y'all gonna crush me. He's crazy going against the Warriors. I hope I'm wrong. I want to see Curry versus LeBron next round. Let me officially put that on tape. I want to see the Warriors versus the Lakers in round 2. But I just believe that the Kings will likely win this series based off of everything that I've seen this year with the Warriors at home and the Kings at home. So let me know how y'all got it scored down low in those comments. But moving right along, even though we don't know who the Lakers are going to face yet, we can't leave you empty. We got to still talk about the series to come. So we'll kind of double this up, split this up. If the Lakers go against the Kings or if the Lakers go against the Warriors. So, ironically, I have the Kings beating the Warriors. So if the Kings were to travel or to face the Lakers, I actually have the Lakers winning that series. On the flip side, if Golden State wins, believe it or not, probably give Golden State the favorite. Oh, probably not. Probably not. Those Lakers are too big, younger, faster, aggressive. I think it's. I think no matter who the Lakers play, Sacramento or Golden State, I'm riding with the Lakers. Lakers versus Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals. You heard it here first. But yeah, that size. As long as AD stays on the court, he's been playing lights out. His defense is back to top tier. LeBron is on a mission. D'Lo is playing great ball. Beasley, Vanderbilt. They got some nice depth on this Lakers squad now. Side note, I thought it was pretty funny when I was watching the closeout game with the Lakers against the Grizz and Kyrie Irving was in attendance. All I can think of when I was watching D'Lo and Beasley and Vanderbilt and those guys was how they will look next season playing alongside Luka Doncic when they do that sign and trade for Kyrie going to the Lakers. It almost felt inevitable after watching that. So I'm curious to know in the comments what you guys think. But yeah, I feel like D'Angelo Russell, as good as he's playing for the squad, he's auditioning to play alongside Luka next season. So yeah, let me know what you think on that one. But yeah, I got the Lakers winning against either one of these teams. Should be a fun one though. If they go against the Warriors definitely have the advantage as far as overall experience for the team. Although LeBron himself has about enough experience for the whole team. I'd actually be curious to see those final numbers. Who has more experience, the Warriors as a whole or LeBron himself? But that should be a fun one. I hope we get the Warriors versus the Lakers, but I think we'll get the Kings versus the Lakers. But regardless, we will have an all California series. So that should be fun. It's like one big home game for everybody. So I'll be curious to know how you guys see it. Who wins between the Warriors and the Kings, and then who wins between the Lakers and the winner of the Warriors and Kings. Let me know in those comments, and if you haven't yet already, please, once again, like, share, subscribe, comment. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation today. I know there's a lot to talk about, but since it's just me, I made sure it was a shorter episode. Get in, get up out of here. But just real quick, before we get up out of here, I want to make sure for my last word, I want to talk about a couple things. Congratulations to Kevin Durant, who joins Michael Jordan and LeBron James as only the third NBA player ever to sign a lifetime deal with Nike. That's huge. Lifetime shoe deal. That doesn't happen. Obviously, him only being a third to do it. But he is now forever immortalized with Michael Jordan and LeBron James. Congrats to him. I'll be curious, ladies and gentlemen, how you feel about that in those comments. So let me know. But also, Joel Embiid is expected to be named NBA MVP this Tuesday. Joel Embiid is somebody who we on this show picked to win the MVP award. So hopefully that comes into fruition this Tuesday. And just early congratulations to him and those Philadelphia 76ers. Well deserved. Well deserved. We've been saying the last couple of years he needed one, and I think finally he'll get his. So congratulations to those guys. And if there's anything I missed, or if you got a last word that you want to talk about, hop in those comments. Let me know. And also just moving along, if you want something talked about on the next show, let us know. Hop in those comments. Let me know. I'll talk about it, and I'll highlight them and bring your narrative to the forefront in the next episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as I did today. And ladies and gentlemen, from us here at the On My Hoops podcast. And we out. Peace.